I was 25, no fancy degree, no rich family, no backup plan. Just me, a cracked iPhone, and a job I hated at the supermarket around the corner. Minimum wage, max frustration. Every day, I stacked the same shelves, smiled at the same people, and scanned the same barcodes like a robot. The uniform itched. The lights buzzed. My soul? Tired. But here's the thing. I knew I was meant for more. I didn't know what that more looked like yet, but I could feel it burning in my chest. Like I wasn't living my life, just surviving inside it. It always hit me around 2 p.m., that dead zone between lunch and closing shift. I'd lean against the backroom wall, staring at my phone, scrolling through TikTok videos of guys my age flexing Rolexes, cars, and passport stamps. Some of it was fake, sure, but some of it, real. And I wanted in. Then, one day, while eating a soggy tuna sandwich on break, I heard it. Dropshipping changed my life. It was a TikTok. This guy, maybe 23, sitting in his bedroom, showing screenshots of Shopify sales. He said he made $10,000 in a week, selling a stupid water bottle, no inventory, no shipping, just marketing. And just like that, something clicked. I wasn't dumb. I knew it wasn't easy money, but it sounded possible. Like something I could actually do, if I really went for it. So that night, I went home, shut my bedroom door, opened my laptop, and fell into a YouTube rabbit hole. I watched tutorials until 3 a.m. What's Shopify? What's AliExpress? How does Facebook ads work? What's a product page? I wrote it all down in a cheap notebook I stole from work. By the end of the week, I had a name for my store. Smooth Style Gear. Don't laugh. I thought it sounded premium. I picked a product, a beard straightening comb I'd seen on TikTok. I spent 4 hours writing the perfect product description. Even recorded a voiceover using my iPhone in the closet. It sounded horrible, but it was mine. Then came the big one. Ads. I didn't have money, at all. But I had about 320 euros saved up for emergencies. And in my head, this was an emergency. My emergency exit. So I spent it all, every last cent, on Facebook ads, targeting men 20 to 35 in the Netherlands who liked beard care. I hit publish and waited. Refresh. 0. Refresh again. Still 0. Day 1, no sales. Day 2, 1 add to cart, no purchase. Day 3, nothing. By day 5, I had spent all my money. I was officially broke. I sat there staring at the screen, heart pounding, sick to my stomach. All I could think was, I failed. Just like that. No plan B. Just a very empty bank account and a head full of regret. I didn't tell anyone, not my mom, not my best friend Sean, nobody. That failure lived in silence, like a weight tied around my chest every time I walked back into that supermarket. And I almost gave up. Almost. But then something weird happened. On a rainy Tuesday afternoon, while I was cleaning the fridge aisle, my AirPod died. So I walked back to the break room to charge it, and opened my phone. There it was. A comment on one of the videos I used in my ad. Do you ship to Belgium? Wait. What? I clicked the commenter's profile. Real person. Real engagement. They were interested. I had never felt so stupid and so hopeful at the same time. That night, I opened my laptop again, looked at everything. What went wrong? Turns out my site loaded super slow on mobile, and my shipping time said 15 to 20 business days. Who the hell wants to wait 3 weeks for a beard comb? I cringed. But here's the shift. Instead of quitting, I started learning. Properly this time. I found Discord groups, joined Facebook dropshipping communities, watched not just the hype videos, but the honest ones. The ones that said, your first store will suck. That's part of it. I deleted Smooth Style Gear the next day. Dead, gone, goodbye. This time I started fresh. New name, new vibe, new product. I picked something simple. A phone stand. Minimalist. Sleek. One of those things you didn't know you needed until you saw it. I ordered one for myself just to test it. When it arrived, I recorded my own TikTok ad. I didn't show my face, just my hands setting the phone in the stand while I sipped coffee, edited to a chill, lofi beat. Text on screen, "Every minimalist needs this." That was it. No voice, no fancy edit, just vibes. I posted it at midnight, went to bed, didn't think much of it. But the next morning, boom, 12,000 views and 5 sales, 5. That was 5 more than my last store ever got. And that tiny buzz in my chest turned into a full-on heartbeat. This was real. This could work. I could do this. And from that moment on, I was hooked. After those 5 sales, I couldn't stop smiling for 2 days straight. I mean, yeah, it was only like 80 euros in total. But to me, that was proof. Proof that a kid with 0 connections, no fancy setup, and a second-hand laptop could actually make money online. It wasn't a dream anymore, it was happening. But of course, life doesn't let you win without testing you. So let's talk about what came next. Because after my little high, reality came crashing in fast. It started with a TikTok comment. "Bro, I ordered last week, and still nothing. Scam? Scam." That word hit me in the stomach like a punch. I panicked, checked my emails, checked my supplier dashboard, and there it was. The order hadn't even shipped yet. Turns out my supplier ran out of stock and just didn't say anything. No message, no alert, nothing. And here I was, thinking I was running a real business, when in reality I had no control over anything. So now I had 2 options. Ignore the comment and hope they forget, or own it. I chose the second one. I replied, "Hey, I'm really sorry. Just checked and saw there was a delay. I'll message you now to sort it." I gave the customer a full refund and a free product. It cost me more than I made that day, but weirdly enough, they actually thanked me. Respect for replying, "I'll still buy from you again." That comment changed something in me. I realized dropshipping isn't about the money, it's about trust. And if I wanted this to be real, long-term real, I had to start thinking like an actual entrepreneur, not some kid copying TikToks, but someone who cared about customers, someone who fixed problems, even when no one was watching. So I spent the next 2 weeks cleaning up everything. Better supplier, faster shipping, clear FAQs, clean refund policy, and a way to track every order automatically. It was exhausting. I'd work 9 to 5 at the supermarket, come home, shower, eat ramen noodles, and then work from 7 p.m. to 2 in the morning, every single day. But it was worth it, because 2 weeks later, one of my TikTok videos blew up. Like, really blew up. 500,000 views in 2 days. My phone was vibrating non-stop. Shopify was pinging sales faster than I could refresh. That day, I made 982 euros. In one day, more than my entire paycheck for the month. I was shaking. Not from excitement, from fear. Because now, it was real. And I had to deliver. Literally. I processed 67 orders that night. Double-checked addresses, confirmed inventory, prayed to every god I'd ever heard of that nothing went wrong. And for the most part, it worked. Orders shipped. People posted about the product, even tagged me in stories. I went from dude who stocks yogurt to guy with a real online business in just a few weeks. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Success is stressful too. I wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating well. My mind was constantly racing. What if someone charged back? What if my ad account got banned? What if this was a fluke? That's when I realized I needed help. So I hit up my best friend Sean. He was one of the only people who knew I was doing this. I had kept it low-key. Partly out of fear, partly because I didn't want people thinking I was delusional. But Sean, he always believed in me. I showed him the numbers. His jaw dropped. "No way, bro. You made $2,000 last week." "Yep." "Off that little phone stand?" "Yep." "You're a wizard." We both laughed. But then he got serious. Dude, you should teach this. At first, I shrugged it off. Who would want to learn from me? But then I thought about it. There had to be thousands of people just like me, broke, frustrated, tired of waiting for something to change. People scrolling through the same videos I used to watch, wondering if it was all fake. What if I could be the proof it wasn't? So I did something terrifying. I filmed my first YouTube video. No script, no edits. Just me sitting in my room with my cracked phone on a stack of books. Hey, I'm Jaden. I made 2,000 euros last week, selling one product online. Here's how I did it, and how you can start too. I posted it, closed my laptop, and instantly regretted it. What if people laughed? What if it flopped? But the opposite happened. Within a week, it had 800 views. A few comments, DMs from people saying, "Yo, this gave me hope." Hope. That's when I knew I was onto something bigger. Not just sales, but impact. I wasn't just building a store, I was building a story. And people were starting to listen. Making money online is wild. At first, it feels like a dream. You open your phone, see Shopify going off like fireworks, and you think, I made it. But what no one tells you is that every sale comes with pressure. Real pressure. Because now, people expect things from you. And if you mess up, even once, they let you know. Loudly. I learned that the hard way. It started on a Monday. I had just passed 10,000 euros in total revenue. 10,000. Me, Jaden. The same guy who used to search how to get rich with no skills. The same guy who thought 40 euros was a big night out. But now I was making that in a single day. And instead of celebrating, I felt tense, really tense, because I knew what was coming. Refunds, chargebacks, shipping delays, angry emails, complaints I couldn't control. It hit me when I opened Gmail. Your package still isn't here. It's been 14 days. I want a refund. This is ridiculous. Never ordering from this store again. 3 emails. Same vibe. My stomach dropped. I had checked tracking info the night before. Most of the orders were on time, but 3 packages were delayed. Customs issue, nothing I could do. But to the customer, that didn't matter. They paid, they waited, they trusted, and now they were pissed. I spent 2 hours writing the perfect apology emails. Polite, respectful, but honest. Then came the first chargeback. If you don't know what that is, it's when a customer calls their bank and says, "I never got the product. I want my money back." Even if they did get the product, the bank sides with them. They get their money. You get hit with a fee. It's brutal. I got 4 that week. 4. Each one cost me 15 euros extra on top of the product cost. It killed my profit margin. Worse, Shopify flagged my account as high risk. If I got too many chargebacks, they could freeze my payouts. That meant no cash flow, no ads, no business. For the first time, I seriously panicked. Was this the end? I wanted to run, shut everything down, go back to just being broke. At least back then, no one was mad at me. But deep down, I knew that wasn't me anymore. I had come too far to quit now. So I changed the game. First, I switched to a better supplier. One with real-time tracking and 5 to 7 day delivery. More expensive, sure, but worth it. Then I added a chatbot to my website. If someone had a problem, they could message me directly. Fewer chargebacks, more trust. I even added a little line under the buy button. Ships in 5 to 7 days from EU warehouse. No surprises. Clarity equals conversions. The result? Less stress, more peace, still making money. But something else was happening too. I was getting attention. My YouTube video passed 3,000 views. People were DMing me daily. Bro, how do I start? What product should I pick? Do you offer mentorship? Mentorship. That word made me laugh at first. I was just figuring it out myself. I wasn't a guru. I was a dude with a laptop and a bit of momentum. but the messages kept coming. So one night, I tried something. I opened Zoom, posted on Instagram, free dropshipping Q&A tonight at 8 p.m. No BS. Just what worked for me. I expected maybe 3 people. 22 showed up. 22 strangers, watching me talk about TikTok ads, product pages, and why fast shipping is the new flex. At the end, someone asked, "Would you ever do paid coaching?" I paused, and for the first time, I said yes. Yeah, I think I would, but only for people who are serious. That night, I got my first coaching sale, 97 euros, paid through PayPal. I nearly cried, not because of the money, but because someone believed in me. And more importantly, I started believing in myself. But here's the flip side. Success has its shadows. Once you start making money, people start noticing. Not just strangers, friends, family, people you haven't heard from in years. Suddenly, everyone had questions. "Yo bro, can you teach me? Let's start a store together." Put me on, man. It was overwhelming. I didn't want to seem arrogant, but I also didn't want to drag people who weren't ready. Because here's the truth. Most people don't actually want to build. They just want results. And results come from work. Long nights, failed stores, sitting alone with a Red Bull and a to-do list that never ends. So I made a decision. From now on, I'd protect my time. No more energy drains, only connections that felt aligned. It wasn't easy. Some people felt offended, but I had to remind myself, I'm building something real, and not everyone can come. I started waking up early, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. I loved the quiet, the stillness before the world woke up. I'd grab coffee, open my laptop, and check orders while the sun came up. That silence, that peace, better than any paycheck. By the end of the month, I had made 5,400 euros in profit. Real money, clean money, money that came from helping people and solving problems. And for the first time in my things got out of control way faster than I expected. One day, I was this kid in my room making TikToks and shipping phone stands. The next, I had customers in 8 countries. My coaching DMs were blowing up. I had PayPal, Shopify, WhatsApp, and email all pinging non-stop, every single hour. At first it felt good, like, finally, validation. People needed me. People wanted what I built. But then it started creeping in. That tight feeling in my chest. That thing no one tells you about when you're chasing success. Burnout. I'd wake up and feel behind before I even opened my eyes. I was sleeping 5 hours a night, eating whatever was in the fridge, and spending more time on customer support than actual business strategy. I stopped hanging out with friends, stopped working out, stopped calling my mum back. Everything became a notification, a task, a deadline. I was scaling fast, but I was also shrinking. Inside, it hit me hardest one Thursday night around 11:47 p.m. I was staring at my screen, editing a landing page for a new product launch, and suddenly, I couldn't breathe. Like, actually, my chest locked up. My hands started shaking. I thought I was having a heart attack. I stood up, paced the room, sat down again, tried to calm myself down. It wasn't physical, it was mental. I was overwhelmed, fried, done. And in that moment, I had this scary thought. I'm building a life that looks successful, but feels like a prison. That's when I knew something had to change. The next morning, I turned everything off. Phone, laptop, notifications, gone. I walked to the park near my house, sat on a bench, no music, no podcast. Just silence. It was weird, uncomfortable, but also peaceful. And that's when I asked myself a question I hadn't thought about in months. Why am I doing this? At first, the answer was obvious. To escape the 9-to-5, to prove I could do it, to make money. But now, I had money, I had freedom, I had proof, and I still didn't feel okay. That's when it hit me. I was chasing growth without direction, adding more without asking why. So I made a decision. No more adding for the sake of adding, no more fake pressure, no more saying yes to every request. I didn't want to become a slave to my own success. That weekend, I said no to 3 coaching requests, paused ads for one of my stores, and made a list. A list of everything in my business that drained me. Answering repetitive emails, managing refunds manually, editing every little thing myself, posting content I didn't even enjoy anymore. Then I made a second list. Things I loved doing. Talking to people one-on-one. Building clean product pages. Recording raw, unfiltered content. Seeing messages like, "Bro, you inspired me to start." I stared at those 2 lists for an hour and realized something important. I wasn't tired of dropshipping. I was tired of trying to do it all alone. So I hired help. Not a full-time team, just a VA, virtual assistant, to handle emails and order tracking, and a Fiverr editor to chop up my videos. Game changer. Suddenly I had time again. Time to think, time to breathe, time to build on the business, not just in it. I started going on walks again. Met up with Sean for coffee and actual conversations. Not just, "Bro, look at these numbers." I journaled. Yes, me. Jaden, the dude who used to laugh at mindset videos, now journaling under a tree with a cappuccino. And you know what? It helped. Writing down what I felt, what I feared, what I wanted, it cleared my head in ways money never could. One morning, while journaling, I wrote something that stopped me in my tracks. I don't want to just sell products. I want to sell possibility. That sentence stuck with me, because that's what I had always wanted, even back when I was working at the supermarket, dreaming behind a cracked phone screen. I didn't just want to make it. I wanted to show others they could too. That night, I went live on YouTube. No script, no filters, just me. I told them everything. The burnout, the pressure, the panic attack. I said, if success costs you your peace, it's not success. It's a trap. People in the chat were going crazy. "Bro, this is the realest live I've ever seen. I needed this today. You just saved me from quitting." And that's when I knew, this is what I'm here for. Not just e-com, not just sales, but impact. Helping people start. Helping people feel less alone. Helping people believe. So I started designing something new. Not another product, not another store, a space, a digital home, where people like me, hungry, curious, unsure, could learn, grow, connect. I called it Start Real. A simple platform, free trainings, weekly lives, real stories, no Lambo flex, no fake screenshots, just truth. And I made one promise. This won't be perfect, but it'll be real. I launched it with 0 expectations. Just an idea, a heartbeat, a hope, and within 2 weeks, over 400 people. I always thought that when success arrived, I'd just know. Like it would come with fireworks. Or some magical moment where I'd feel like I made it. But when it actually showed up, it was quiet. Confusing even. It came in the form of an email. Subject line, business opportunity, let's talk scaling. At first, I thought it was spam, but the email wasn't from some random Gmail address. It was from an agency in Amsterdam. Real logo, real domain. The sender? A guy named Oscar. He ran a DTC brand incubator. Basically, they help e-commerce stores scale fast by investing time, money, and people. The email was short. Hey Jaden, been following your growth and content. Love what you're building. Would love to chat about helping you scale. Think 100K per month type scale. Let me know if you're open to a call. My heart started racing. This wasn't just a compliment. This was a door, a big one. I responded that night. We scheduled a Zoom call for the next day. I barely slept. I kept thinking, what if this is it? What if this is the level up I've been waiting for? When the call started, Oscar was chill. Late 30s, sharp eyes, but relaxed vibe. He said, "We like what you've built, man. Real product, real audience, real trust. That's rare." Then he hit me with it. "What if we partner up? We invest. We hire a team. We build a brand out of this. You in?" My first reaction? Yes. Of course. Let's go. But then I paused, because deep down, I felt something shift. I asked, "What does that look like for me?" He smiled. "You'd still be involved, but we'd take over ops, creative, scaling. You focus on the content, maybe even build a personal brand. We aim for $100,000 to $150,000 per month revenue." It sounded amazing. The dream, money, resources, freedom. But something in me hesitated. After the call, I sat in silence. Just me and my thoughts. And the more I thought about it, the less clear I felt. Was this really what I wanted? Or was I just chasing a number? Don't get me wrong, $100K months sound insane. But what's the cost? Would I still have creative control? Would it still feel like mine? Would I wake up excited? Or just more overwhelmed? I called Sean. "Yo, I got offered a partnership. Big agency. Real deal. They want to scale everything." He paused. "That's crazy. You going for it?" "I don't know, man. I thought I would. But now I'm not sure." "Then don't say yes yet. Sleep on it. Feel it in your gut." That advice hit hard. Because I realized something right then. I had spent months building a life that looked successful. But what I really wanted was a life that felt like mine. Not one driven by investors, meetings, teams, or targets, but one driven by purpose, by alignment, by peace. I'm not against scaling, but I needed to be sure I wasn't trading one kind of pressure for another. So the next morning, I made a decision. I emailed Oscar back. I thanked him, said I was honored, but also said, "Right now, I'm not looking to scale that fast. I want to grow slow and aligned. But I appreciate the offer, and if it feels right in the future, I'll reach out." He replied with respect, said he understood, wished me luck, and just like that, I let the offer go. Was I scared? Hell yeah. Turning down something that big felt like leaving money on the table, but it also felt like choosing myself, and that felt empowering. In the days that followed, I leaned even deeper into my content. I started filming real stories, behind the scenes, wins and losses. I talked about burnout, about refunds, about my first failed store, and people loved it. My YouTube channel doubled in subscribers. My DMs were filled with people saying, "Thank you for keeping it real. You make this feel possible. I finally launched because of you." That's when I knew I didn't need to chase success anymore, because I was already living in it. My way, my pace, my path. And here's the thing most people won't tell you. Freedom isn't just about quitting your job. It's about choosing how you live your life every single day. Sometimes that means saying yes to big offers. Sometimes that means saying no, even when it scares you. For me, saying no gave me something I didn't expect. Clarity. I didn't need to scale fast. I needed to scale real. So I made a new goal. Not 100,000 months. Not six-figure exits, but 100 people helped. 100 stories changed. 100 lives shifted because I shared mine. And that goal lit me up like nothing else. Sometimes I look around my room and just smile. Not because it's fancy. Not because I made it. But because I remember where I started. Same desk. Same old chair. Same cracked phone. But a completely different version of me. A few months ago, I was just some guy working shifts, watching YouTube videos, hoping for a way out. Now, I run an online business. I make money in my sleep. I help people start theirs. And more than that, I feel proud of who I've become. But let me be real with you. It wasn't easy. It wasn't instant. And it definitely wasn't perfect. I failed. A lot. I doubted myself every other week. I compared myself to people online. I overworked. I burned out. But I also kept showing up. Not because I had it all figured out, but because something in me refused to quit. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's this. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need a business degree. You don't need money, followers, or a perfect idea. You just need to start. Start messy. Start scared. Start broke. Just start. Because starting creates momentum. And momentum builds confidence. And confidence attracts opportunities. Looking back, the most powerful moment in my journey wasn't my first sale, or my first 10K month, or even turning down that investor. It was the moment I chose me. When I stopped waiting for permission. When I stopped asking, am I ready? And start saying, let's go anyway. Now I get messages every day. People saying, I've been watching you since day one. You gave me hope. You made me believe I could do this too. And nothing, feels better than that. Because in the end, this journey was never just about money. It was about becoming the kind of person I used to look up to. The one who kept it real. Who didn't fake it. Who wasn't afraid to say, yeah, I started from zero. And you can too. If you're listening to this right now, and you're stuck at a job you hate, in a mindset that holds you back, scrolling through everyone else's wins while doubting your own, I want to tell you something. You're not behind. You're not late. And you are not too broken to begin. Your story hasn't even started yet. Forget what Instagram says. Forget the overnight success hype. Forget the 6 figures in 6 weeks noise. Focus on you. On building something real. Something that reflects who you are. Not what the algorithm wants. Not what your parents expect. Not what strangers think is impressive. Real. Because real lasts, and real leads. I'm not rich yet. I don't own a Lambo. I still eat instant noodles when I'm too lazy to cook. But I wake up with purpose. I do work that matters. And I no longer feel like I'm wasting my life. That's wealth to me. So if this is your day one, welcome. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Take the step. Open the laptop. Watch the video. Buy the domain. Make the post. Test the product. Mess it up. Fix it. Try again. Because that's how this works. That's how you grow. That's how you build something worth building. And who knows? Maybe one day, someone will listen to your story. Maybe they'll hear your voice on a podcast, or read your post, or buy from your store. And maybe, just maybe, you'll become the person who helped them start. That's legacy. That's impact. And if I can do it, South can you.